So y'all, I seen this video surfing YouTube. Every time I get on YouTube, I see this on my recommendation or even my home page, bro. Everyone hates the Kid Laroi. Why? I literally never understand the hate that Laroi gets. If you don't know, he's actually one of my favorite rappers. Well, he's not even a rapper no more. He's a pop star now. But he is definitely one of my favorites, man. Like, ever since I discovered who Laroi was, ever since I discovered his music, probably 2-3 years ago, I've just been hip to his music ever since then. I listened to every album, EP that he dropped. Y'all know this already, man. This year, we haven't gotten anything from Laroi, really. We have 1,000 Miles, a couple features he did, you feel me? But this year was supposed to be Laroi debut album. You feel me? He said it in the song 2022. The album is coming. You feel me? And we in November. We have yet to even get any information about this album. Now, sources have told me that Laroi may be dropping next year, early next year, you feel me? A lot of people has been pushing their albums back, you feel me? We're going to get to a lot of that, man, but why is people hating on Laroi? Because he's not dropping music. Obviously, he's been on tour. People don't know Laroi actually been on tour. Like, if he's not working, he's still working, you feel me? He's been on tour, you know, but I never understand the hate that Laroi gets. Like, why? You feel me? So in this video right here, we finna see what's going on. Like I said, this video just keep popping up on my homepage. It's like, it's begging me like, yo, DJ, react to this. DJ, watch this video. So, finna watch it with y'all, man. Make sure y'all leave a like, man. First link in the description will take you to my Twitch. Go ahead and follow that, man. Let's dive into this, man. Let's see what's going on with this, bro. Everyone hates the Kid Laroi. Why? Nah, seriously. Like, seriously, why? Like, seriously.
The Kid Laroi, a 19-year-old boy from Australia, seemingly overnight turned into a widely known name in the rap community, and not necessarily for the better. He has loyal fans, but just as many people strongly hate him and his music. How did this hate begin? Was it really Laroi's fault, or was it something bigger that caused it? Laroi grew up in Australia and started touring for his music as early as 14 years old. Grade A, the record label founded by Lil Baby that Juice was on, was looking at Laroi and in talks of signing him. But with that deal, he would need to move to the US. Laroi, even before this offer, being a big fan of Juice, influenced his decision heavily, and Laroi moved and signed to Grade A. Being put in an environment around successful people and learning from them surely gave him a ton of newfound knowledge and insight, and he quickly rose up in the scene. To this day, his two biggest songs right now are Without Me, being certified triple platinum, and Stay, featuring Justin Bieber, which is now certified 11 times platinum and ended 14th on Billboard Songs of the Summer list. However, with fast success and fame will come a ton of hate for Laroi. Sure, from mainstream rap.
I mean, with fame, it's going to come with hate. Like, everybody know that. But still, why is he getting this type of hate? Let's find out.
Community, but specifically Juice WRLD fans. The Kid Laroi's first big break was his song Let Her Go, which got a Lyrical Lemonade video. The song dropped a few days before Juice passing away, which showed that Grade A wanted to build up Laroi and Juice WRLD on their label as prominent rap artists. This is so important because later on, people will actually accuse Grade A of trying to quickly use Laroi as a replacement for Juice WRLD. Whether you loved or hated Juice's music, you should be able to understand why this would seem like an issue.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, the fans felt as though, you know, Grade A was moving too fast, or they was using Laroi as the next Juice WRLD. You feel me? But if you understand their relationship, you know, on the outside looking in, you know that Laroi was a big fan of Juice. He actually looked up to Juice. You feel me? His song, he low-key mimicked Juice when it comes to his music. You can see the similarities in his music as well. Now, you know, labels, like, they love to... Labels are money hungry, basically. You feel me? I'm not even going to... Like, labels are definitely money hungry. So I could see with an issue from the fans be like, yo, like, Juice WRLD literally just passed 2 days ago, and y'all releasing a music video or a song from Laroi a couple days after. They even did that before they had dropped a song with Laroi and Juice. And I was just like, damn. Like, already? So I get it, but at the same time, like, this might sound crazy, but for a label, I'm pretty sure like that's their job. But at the same time, that's not. It's, I don't know the word, but it's just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like that's effed up. You know what I'm saying? That's effed up, bro. But let's continue watching.
Fans of Juice WRLD's eyes, he was one of the greatest of all time to ever rap. To have his label of all people basically say, he died, let's move on and replace him, would be a huge issue for Juice fans. Now, I'm by no means trying to say that Grade A is at fault for Kid Laroi's hate, but they definitely played a role. I'll get more into detail in this in a minute. Not too long after Juice's passing, Laroi dropped Diva with Tekka, and at this point, nobody really hated him. He was actually building a really loyal fan base. So when exactly did the hate start? Half a year after Juice's death, Grade A released Legends Never Die, which featured a song called Hate the Other Side that Laroi was put on. That doesn't seem like an issue, right? Well, post Juice dying, Laroi was added to the song. It was basically a marketing tactic to get Laroi's name out there further and benefit Grade A even more. I'm not too sure how I feel about artists being put on songs post-death, but it is an interesting situation.
Yes, it is.
In most cases, I want to leave it how the artist left it and not add a full new verse into the song to surge the featured artist's popularity. All of this, though, becomes hazy and unclear what to do because, of course, you can't just get Juice WRLD's thoughts on it like you would have if he was alive. It's a very tough situation, and I'm not really sure what the correct way is to handle it. Grade A smartly, but to fans, greedily took advantage of the similarity of Juice and Laroi's music and started using Juice's album to market Laroi. The Juice WRLD fans, of course, got quite mad, and this is really where Laroi hate started. Fans of Juice WRLD started calling out the Kid Laroi, Grade A, and Lil Baby for exploiting Juice's death for profit and marketing reasons. Only 2 weeks after the release of Legends Never Die, Laroi dropped his own project, and despite the already building backlash, Lil Baby once again tried to use the popularity of Legends Never Die to push Laroi's project. Not to mention, Lil Baby went as far as giving a goal of 50,000 streams on Laroi's album to release more Juice WRLD. This was another big point where Juice fans were kind of realizing exactly what was happening with Grade A. They saw through Grade A's plans for marketing Laroi and started hating the Kid Laroi because of it. I actually agree with people on this one. It's pretty weird to make people go listen to someone else because they want to hear a rapper that they love's music after he's died.
Nah, that's a crazy promo. Nah, that's really a crazy promo. Bibby, what's up, bro?
It would be a completely different situation, but it's not like Juice agreed and wanted Laroi to get some traction before dropping his project. Grade A really just took advantage of the situation. Whether they did this with malicious intent or not doesn't actually really matter, because the Juice fans, they were starting to hate Laroi. Juice fans at this point felt as if Juice WRLD was being forgotten and seemingly replaced by his label a couple months after his passing. The issue is that all of this gave Laroi a really terrible name in the community, but if you understand how labels work, I doubt Laroi really had much of a say in any of these bigger decisions.
Yeah, he didn't have no say in it, bro. You feel me? That's how labels work, bro. Honestly, man. It's sad, but that's how they work, bro. Really, man. You really gotta look at these labels and see how they maneuver for it, bro. They don't care, bro. They don't. It's all about making money for them, man.
If you thought
it's a business at the end of the day. It's really a business at the end of the day, bro. Like, if they're gonna market Laroi and make money off Laroi, they're gonna use every advantage and every tactic they can, have or use, basically.
I thought this was bad enough, it got so much worse for Laroi and Grade A. The release of Reminds Me of You was the turning point where Juice WRLD fans really started to Laroi with a passion. Once again, Laroi was added to the song post-death.
I remember this. Yeah, it was a lot of hate during this time, bro.
And sort of took it over. Fans did not like that Laroi was getting his name out there from leeching off of Juice WRLD's success. Not to mention, Grade A decided to release Reminds Me of You on the anniversary of Juice's passing. It made them look super guilty of trying to use Juice WRLD's fame and fan base to build Laroi as the next big thing. Now, what exactly happened with Lean With Me, you may be asking? There's a thing on Spotify called Spotify Singles, which, if you don't know, artists can basically just make and post covers of other people's music, or they can post different versions of their own songs. Now, the Kid Laroi released a 2-song project on Singles. It included a Without You acoustic version, and then also a cover of Juice WRLD's Lean With Me. Juice WRLD fans were not pleased, to say the least. They felt as if he was once again trying to exploit Juice WRLD's notoriety post-death. In this situation, I actually think this was probably fully Laroi's choosing to make this cover, but it was by no means to piggyback off of Juice in my opinion. Laroi, after all, was a friend of Juice WRLD, and it totally makes sense that he would make a cover of a Juice song basically in honor of him. I think the argument that it was malicious and exploitative was completely crazy here, but because of these claims, the Kid Laroi has since removed the cover off of Spotify. Who knows, maybe the Kid Laroi and Grade A came together and really thought that would get Juice fans listening to the Kid Laroi. I guess we'll never know for sure. Now, with all of these issues, was it at fault of Laroi himself or Grade A? Grade A, of course, was trying to make the best business decisions for the longevity of the label, and in turn made Laroi kind of a hated face in the rap industry. A Reddit thread shows the community's thoughts on this by saying, they're trying to use Juice's death to promote Laroi and his music, which from a business point of view could be good, but from everyone else's point of view, it's disrespectful using a person's death to promote anything. A user follows by saying, exactly, it's wrong but not Laroi's fault. The label's responsible for promotion. It was definitely not their intent to do so because it helps them do better the more people love artists they have signed. However, I think as a result of their awful marketing for Laroi's music right after Juice's death, they accidentally turned Juice's fans against Laroi. It's unfortunate because Laroi never really did much wrong, and he just got thrown into some weird situations. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this in the comments and who's truly at fault, but first let's take a look at just how much people do hate Kid Laroi.
Ow.
Juice fans and just general haters of Laroi have gone to some extreme levels of hate online over the last years. With Reddit pages, Twitter pages, and websites dedicated to the hating of Kid Laroi, people take Grade A's mistakes really seriously. A lot of arguments and people hating on Laroi are about as deep and meaningful as the internet ever is though, saying stuff like this. He makes music for 13-year-olds who watch Bart Simpson edits. Also, he's white. To me, this hate's kind of just funny, but some of it does get a bit extreme. In just 2 minutes of searching, I found 2 Twitter pages dedicated to hating him. Here's some tweets from said accounts. This one, clearly being a Juice WRLD fan, says, Laroi could possibly be the worst artist of this generation. Imagine being so mid you rap about Hennessy and girls to try to copy Juice. It's funny that this user tries to claim that it's copying Juice WRLD when almost every rapper on the planet has rapped about Hennessy and girls at some point. The other account really hated Laroi on June 4th specifically, saying, thinking about how much I hate the Kid Laroi, followed up by a simple yet harsh, die, Kid Laroi, and finally saying, stop stealing Grammys from actual talented people and get a real job. I'm sure these are just 12-year-old Juice fanboys, but it is ironic saying he's stealing Grammys from talented people, and then in the same sentence saying that being a musician isn't a real job. Now, this is one of the most insane Reddit posts I've seen about Laroi. This guy says, am I the only one that despises him? I want to punch him in his ugly British teeth whenever he opens his stupid mouth to belch out one of his annoying generic songs. I would rather listen to the sound of poop plopping into a toilet on repeat than be subject to the torture that is listening to his quote-unquote music. Quickly, before we move on to a recent controversy Laroi was involved in, to find exactly the answer why people hate Laroi, a website asked the question, why do you hate the Kid Laroi? And these were 3 of the answers given. Because he's an industry plant that gets free Juice WRLD features and wastes them with his awful singing and rapping. Industry plant is one of the terms you'll hear the most diving into the Kid Laroi hate, which I guess is a big downside of being picked up by a label at 15 and propelled into a mainstream career where millions are looking at you. The term's just kind of going to be thrown around at that point. The next guy says, because he's Juice WRLD, but if Juice WRLD was bad as hell and Australian and white. And finally, he'd be better off being pushed as a pop artist instead of whatever he is now. Only thing I dislike about Kid Laroi himself is the forced voice he uses in his music.
Kid Laroi's new music video copies multiple shots from my videos. As an underground indie artist who writes and directs their own music videos, I am so sick of big artists ripping me off. Now, I know it's not Kid Laroi's fault, so I looked into the director, and it turns out this dude follows me on Instagram. Coincidence? I think not.
I agree with them that they've definitely stole a lot of shots from Oliver Tree's work. It does suck to see Laroi working with so many people that just...
Yo. What the fuck? Nah, seriously, what the fuck is going on?
Ripping me off. Now, I know it's not Kid Laroi's fault.
Who's Oliver Tree? And I ain't gonna lie, they copied this nigga word for word.
Multiple shots from my videos. As an underground indie artist who writes and directs their own music videos, I am so sick of big artists ripping me off. Now, I know it's not Kid Laroi's fault, so I looked into the director, and it turns out this dude follows me on Instagram. Coincidence? I think not.
I agree with them that they've definitely stole a lot of shots from Oliver Tree's work. It does suck to see Laroi working with so many people that just don't seem very good at creativity or marketing. A bad history of people doing things in Laroi's name explains the hate pretty well, but it is just unfortunate. Laroi himself wouldn't be nearly as hated by Juice fans, especially if Grade A hadn't tried to market him using Juice's fame. Let me know what you think about everything I went over today and what topic you want covered next. Overall, Laroi hate doesn't seem to be too justified, but is for sure interesting.
Can you blame Laroi though? Doesn't matter. Laroi got a crazy fan base that he get his stuff and sees the talent shining right through. And it's a shame to see people like him being hated on literally one of the most talented people we've seen in a while. Never realized Laroi hate so much. I'm a huge Juice WRLD fan and love Laroi. Laroi is good at making music, and people don't want to admit that because they're annoyed by the whole Juice WRLD thing. That's a fact. Me personally, bro, Juice inspired Laroi. You feel me? Laroi really, got some influence from Juice, but the hate is crazy. You feel me? Like, some of the hate had to be put on the label. You get what I'm saying? That's just me personally. But Laroi's talented as hell. You can't take that away from him. He's talented, bro. You feel me? Like, talent is always going to speak. And hard work is going to speak as well too. You feel me? As a Juice and Laroi fan, I don't think Laroi copied Juice. I think he just took a lot of inspiration from Juice. That's a fact. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts, man. Y'all think Laroi is getting unnecessary hate? Do y'all blame Laroi? Do y'all blame the label? Do y'all blame people that work around him? What's your thoughts on this, man?